Really excited about a brand of audio products that we are now authorised dealers for. The actual brand is called Morel, and what they deal with is speakers, amplifiers and subwoofers. So pretty much the essence of audio in a vehicle. Morel as a brand has been going on for quite a while, probably not commonly known in the UK as much as it is in, let's say, the States or other parts of the world, but it is of high quality. The range to a modest sort of budget all the way up to a real high-end sort of budget. So you do have a quite range in there, and obviously they're not cheap speakers like stuff that you could buy on eBay. So let me show you the actual product itself, because I am really excited by it. It is an amazing sort of product. Right, this is the Virtus Nano Carbon, which is a 6.5-inch component speakers. If I just get rid of the packaging so I can show you the speakers itself. So that is a 6.5-inch speaker. Now this is the woofer side because this is the component speaker. So if I show you the back, and you could just see the quality of the product itself just by looking at the components. So this is the woofer without the grill, and that is carbon fibre. Now I'm going to show you something very amazing about these speakers, and that's that. How they managed to make a speaker with this sort of quality that shallow, and that could basically be installed in any aperture. These are the tweeters that comes with it. It comes with loads of different housing. You could flush mount them, you could bury them, or what have you, but it does come with a whole range of it. But just look at the detail on that grill if you did want to show it off. It's just these little things that makes a brand. And this is a passive crossover, and just from that you can see the quality of the components and how it's been put together. There's a lot of attention to detail regarding that. That's their passive crossover. So these speakers are £660 retail. So they're not their most expensive speakers. With the components, they do three-way components in that range, but they do a couple of other ranges higher than that, and you could be paying anything up to £5,500 for their top of the range set of speakers. So that being £660 is one of their lower end ones, but it is of high quality regardless. Right, now this is the Virtus Nano Carbon Integra, which is a point reference speakers, but because I'm a little bit old fashioned, I call them coaxial speakers. And again, it's 6.5 inches, so that is the speaker itself. And that's the back. And being coaxials, ordinarily you'd have one input, and then within it, it'll transfer the information between the one part of the speaker and the woofer itself. But what they've done to separate it, so it's not unique to this manufacturer of speakers. A lot of high-end speakers do this as well, but just to show the quality of it. So you've got an input for the woofer, and you've got an input for the actual tweeter part of it, which is all built in, housed. If you have a look, so that is the carbon finish on the actual woofer, and that's the tweeter part of it, being the coaxial. And again, look how shallow that is. It's just incredible. Being coaxials all built in, so there's no separate tweeters, but it does come with its separate passive crossover, exactly the same as the other one, of the same quality as well. So you could separate it out. It just makes it a much better sounding speaker by having that. These, being a coaxial, is a little bit cheaper, and it's £605 for these speakers. put this away. Right, let's talk about the subwoofer. Right, this is the Primo, and it's an 8-inch subwoofer. Let me pull this out. Now the Primo is their entry-level subwoofer range. And even though it's an entry-level subwoofer range, and this is 8-inch, it is really heavy. But look at the quality of that. That's the back of it. In this range, this is 250 watts RMS, which is pretty powerful. They go up to 12 inches, and the 12-inch one will be 350 watts RMS. So depending on the actual size woofer you got, it does go up in wattage or power as well. This costs £250, and it goes up a little bit more the bigger you go. But they do a couple of other ranges that's a higher level, and that obviously is considered a bit more expensive. But for what that is, for £250, you're getting a lot for your money. So let's put this away. So lastly, what I want to show you is one of their amplifiers. And again, they do a range of amplifiers. But I just want to show you this one in particular. This is the MPS 5.950. Now if I pull this out of the box. Ooh. Don't want to drop that. Right, this is a 5-channel amplifier. So what that means, it has 4 channels, which is an AB class amplifier, which you'll drive normal speakers with, and you get the full range. And then it has a single channel amplifier, which is a D class amplifier, which is what they call a monoblock, and that's designed for purely for subwoofer because of the frequency range that it's actually giving out. So you could run 4 speakers and a subwoofer from this one amplifier. And what it is, the actual speaker side of it, you've got 4 times 100 watts RMS, so you've got ample amount of power for those. And the actual subwoofer is 550 watts RMS at 2 ohms. So you could drive few subwoofers just off this one amplifier without having to get other amplifiers on there. And you can see just the way they built it, it's really tidy and really of high standard. And the way they made it, it's just a rectangle, so you could actually do a nice little install and put in the boot of your car and just like have the show off the amplifier but cover everything else, and it hasn't got little frilly bits to it to make it difficult to actually make it look tidy in the boot. So you don't have to particularly hide it, but you could flush mount it. But also gives you the opportunity to get more amps if you want more amps, and you could just put them along, and again make it look nice and tidy. You can actually buy stands for these, so you could stack them up as well. So depending on what you actually want to do, and how many amps you want to drive, and again it depends how many subs and whatever you want to drive. You've got a lot of flexibility with that. So that's one thing I really like about it, is the fact that it looks nice and simple. It's made really well, and obviously the output on there is amazing. This amplifier is £700 for this particular amplifier, but I did say they do a whole range of amplifiers. So they do the 2-way channel amplifiers, 4-way channel amplifiers, and also there's a 5-way amplifier as well. So depending on what you need, you know, it is available with this one brand, Morel. So, really excited about starting to do installs with this product. Like I said, it's not budget. So if you want a real nice quality sound, this is definitely the product to consider, because it will give you what you want. And yeah, and regarding how much an install is going to cost, it all depends on your vehicle. It all depends on the level of installation you want. And as a result, everything's going to be bespoke. So we can't give a price of a basic install to an advanced install, because it's about personal needs and requirements. So it is a bespoke sort of installation, and it's something that you would have to give us a call, either pop down and have a discussion about it and see what you require. So if you're interested, give us a call.